We're going to go to move on to the next guest. Everybody go and give us a minute. We got LTTL in the queue. We got him loading up into the box right now, quite frankly. What is up, LTTL? Did he vote for Trump?
Hello?
Hello? Hello? Hello?
Yes,
I
sir.
can hear you. Hey, what's up? Did he vote for Trump, man?
Yes, sir. Can you hear me?
I can hear you.
Yes, sir. I did.
Okay, well, before we start our debate, I'm going to go live on YouTube, so just give me a second here, but let's hop into our discussion, man. I can't wait, quite frankly. For everybody tuning in on YouTube, what's going on? It's good to have you in here with me today. We're going to go ahead and hop straight into the debate. So we got 100 Trump supporters lined up, and we're going to take them down one by one. We have our first Trump supporter on the line. Their name is LTTL. Welcome in, man. Go ahead and tell us why you voted for Trump.
Yes, sir. I voted for him on the tariff side of things. I like his tariffs, but for a different reason than a lot of other people like. Um, as well, I thought before that his economics were a little bit better, but now I don't know. They're doing too well. I know they kind of go hand in hand, but like I said, I think I have a different view on tariffs than a lot of other people have.
You just contradicted yourself because you just told us
I
that.
did it.
So you just told
Yes,
us that
sir.
you liked
Yeah.
his tariffs, which is economic policy, and then you went on to tell us that you're now doubting his economic policy, which is his tariffs. So you're basically telling us that you liked him for. Oh, wait, are you saying that you regret your vote for Trump?
Not necessarily. Not yet.
Not yet. Okay, real quick. What is a tariff?
Yeah, it's a tax on goods imported.
Okay, and why do you support his tariffs?
Yeah, so like I said, it's for a different reason. So I mean, the longevity plan, like the long-term plan, I guess a lot of people are saying it will bring jobs to America. Do you disagree with that?
I think there is an argument to be made that that's wrong, and the only reason why I say that is, well, for two reasons. First reason is it creates a lot of inefficiencies and reduces productivity in American
Hmm.
manufacturing because it shifts our focus away from comparative advantage, which essentially means we're just producing the things that we're good at producing, uh,
Yeah,
to focusing on trying to produce everything via force. Not to mention that these tariffs have also decreased consumer confidence in the market, which means people are spending less money, which is, kind of handed to America barreling towards a recession. The Atlanta Fed, before Donald Trump imposed his tariffs, projected a 4% growth in the American GDP in the first financial quarter of 2025. Now they're projecting a 3% recess. And we also have Goldman Sachs increasing the probability of a recession in the near American future. So for those two reasons, it is foregoing any level of comparative advantage and forces our producers to make things they're not good at making. It causes inflation and it reduces consumer confidence. I think that in the long term, it could actually reduce jobs in American markets.
interesting. Okay, yeah, I mean, I'm on the other side. And out of curiosity, do you know anyone else that has ever tried this kind of tariff plan? I cannot actually put my name on any of them, so I don't really know.
Yeah, before 1920, America only operated off of tariffs. And tariffs
Okay.
have been imposed by administrations, since. I mean, like, for instance, under Donald Trump's first term, he imposed tariffs on China. What did that
Hmm.
lead to? A reduction in U.S. agricultural exports because it started a trade war with China and
Right.
bankrupted American farmers. And it was actually so bad that he had to bail them out with a near $30 billion bill through Congress called the Farm Bill.
Gotcha. Okay, so no, I was just saying, like in recent years, like this big of tariffs. I know you said that Trump did in his first year with China. Now, that's kind of my question. I mean, like, I'm big on like protecting the kids and everything. Do you think it would be beneficial? And I know it sounds crazy.
On
I
protecting the
know. I see
kids?
your eyes. Yeah, yes, sir. So let me explain. So, do you think in like the perfect world, he puts a tariffs? Do they hurt the economy for a little bit? Sure. That's why I'm not on the side of the economic plans. But say in 3 4 years it brings more jobs to America, that would definitely
Oh, you're lagging bad, man.
I don't want to call like what it is, but the child work laws in China, like 'cause there's a lot of that going on right now. Do you not agree with that? Like if it brought more jobs to America, would it help lower from a lot of different countries as far as those child labor laws or whatever you want to call them? But I
So
think
I
you know what I'm trying to
actually,
get at.
so I actually think that we should tariff the shit out of certain companies that employ children.
Hmm.
Okay, like and like violate what we would view as ethical standards for child employment.
Right.
All right, I think that we should tariff the shit out of companies that produce goods with the use of that with the use of said means. And I don't really
Right.
think anybody would disagree with that. But
Right.
I also think that would mean tariffing the shit out of some goods produced in Florida. And that doesn't speak for 99% of the tariffs that Donald Trump is implementing. I mean, he's not implemented his blanket tariffs with an intention to reduce our, the sustainability of the American economy on goods produced by children. Like, for instance, Canada, for instance, has better labor laws as it would apply to everybody, including children, than America. Why is it
Right.
tariff them?
Yeah, no, I know that's not his intent, but I was just asking, do you think that would be some good that could come out of it?
MC, thank you so much for the $16 and the 66 cents over on Venmo. Thank you so much for the love, MC. Well, we already had tariffs imposed on China under Donald Trump's first term and under Biden and Harris, so this wouldn't be an additional good reaped by his new policies as tariffs have already existed.
Okay, gotcha. So you're saying it probably wouldn't help at the end of the day.
No.
Yeah. Okay. I guess I disagree with that.
What? We
But
just
not like
we've already
heavily
had tariffs on
disagree.
China. We've already had tariffs on China, man.
On everything coming in?
We had tariffs on a lot of goods produced in China.
Okay, yeah, I guess I'll have to get myself knowledgeable on that. But yeah, I guess I like your idea of just tariffing the shit out of the people that
Wait,
do.
so
But
I just
isn't
want to
that
clarify.
is
Can I
that
ask you a question real quick?
yes, sir, go ahead.
If you care about like ethical standards for the treatment of children, how come you support
Hmm.
Donald Trump? He wants to ethnically cleanse 2.1 million Palestinians off the Gaza Strip, forcefully evicting them from their home and relocating them to countries such as Egypt and Jordan, which would include the forceful expulsion and violation of human rights of Palestinian children.
And he said that?
Yeah.
Where did he say that? Is there a
In a
source for
press
that?
conference with Benjamin Netanyahu, and then he went on to post an AI video on Instagram, Twitter, and other platforms depicting what the Gaza Strip will look like after he kicks all the Palestinians out and builds a Riviera. Of course, he's also spoken about this at length on Truth Social.
Gotcha. And how many Palestinians live in where did you say in
An
Gaza now?
estimated 2.1 million.
And he wants to get rid of them all out of there?
Yeah, wants to get them all out and give them no right to return.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Yeah, well,
No,
so I mean, if you care about the living standard of children, why is that not a red
mhm.
line for you?
No, absolutely. No, I would say if, and I mean, did he say this before that before when he was running?
Well, I mean, he did say that he was the most pro-Israel president we've ever had, and that although Kamala Harris was also pro-Israel, she was not as pro-Israel as him, and in fact, she was going to employ Hamas radicals to run her foreign policy, and that Biden was a bad Palestinian. So I think he definitely let us know.
Yeah, I don't remember hearing anything about that until after he got elected in the sense of that.
Well, I'm
Uh,
giving you quotes from his debate with Biden. I'm giving you quotes from his debate with Kamala Harris, and I'm giving
so
you
what
quotes from his
was his
first
quote
term.
exactly from Kamala Harris?
That he was the most pro-Israel president we've ever had, and that Kamala Harris was going to have Hamas running her foreign policy, even though she was also pro-Israel.
Yeah.
And then he's also said at other points that he really disagreed with the restrictions on some weapon shipments to Israel, and that he
Okay.
didn't support humanitarian aid to Gaza. But in retrospect, now that you have access to this information, do you now regret
Right.
your vote for Trump?
No, I do not. Um,
Okay, so then don't act like you care about ethical concerns of working conditions for children in China when you don't care about the ethical concerns of human rights for children in Palestine.
no, I think I do.
Okay, so then what was Kamala Harris going to do that was significantly worse than the violation of 2.1 million individuals' human rights living on the Gaza Strip?
I mean that was not something until after he got elected. Like he didn't say, "I'm going to get
I
rid of
know, but
two
I'm
point."
asking you now in retrospect if you regret if you
Oh,
regret
I
your
see what
vote
you're
and you
saying.
drop your support. So
I mean,
but
what was
still yet you
Kamala
don't.
going to
So
do?
then, to Israel and Palestine.
Yes, yes, sir.
Yeah, she was going to continue the same pro-Israel agenda that was present under the Biden-Harris administration, which I disagree with. However, when comparing her position to Trump's, Trump's was significantly worse.
Okay, so and what was their stance on it? I guess for Israel and Palestine.
Yeah, some humanitarian aid to Gaza, with a lot of support to Israel, but with some limits on big weapon shipments and really heavy
Right.
bombs.
Okay, and what do you think about that? You said you don't agree with it.
No, I don't agree with any pro-Israel policy. But Donald Trump was significantly more pro-Israel than her. So, in what way was Kamala Harris worse than Donald Trump?
I mean, I guess we couldn't see. I guess she could say whatever she wants, and she's going to do whatever she wants, just like Trump did as well. So I mean, there's always that flip side. Is if she was in office, she could have became a lot more pro-Israel. I mean, they both said things on stage that they probably
It's
didn't mean,
actually
or
it's likely that she would have become more pro-Palestinian because of a growing pro-Palestinian virtues on the left.
yeah. I
I would
mean,
argue that a shift more towards the left was likely after her inauguration. But I just want to clarify: do you have any reason why he was a better presidential candidate compared to her?
yeah. I think a lot of it, not necessarily policy or anything, but I think just, and maybe it was just because of the lackluster amount of time she had. I was definitely open. I had never voted. I'm 23, um, but I had never voted before. Um, but I think I would have been more open if she had more time. I just wasn't. I guess I wasn't.
Okay,
I
so
think she
you
did
can't
good.
name a reason why he was a better presidential candidate?
Yeah, I think I can.
Okay,
Let,
okay. Well, so
let,
what is it?
let me think. Um,
If you can't, that's all good. I mean, there's other things that we could talk about. Like we could talk about all of the failures of the Trump administration in the last 2 months.
yeah, I think the biggest reason, and I know this is probably not going to be popular. I think when she said that she wouldn't change anything from the prior 4 years. I think that was a. Oh, is that a hair in your sandwich, man?
Yeah, it is. You see that?
Yeah, throw it out.
It's probably my hair. Go ahead.
Okay, then you can keep eating. Yeah, I guess when she said she wanted to change anything from the past 4 years under the Biden administration, I guess that kind of threw a curveball, as it did, I guess, for a lot of other American voters.
Okay, what was your least favorite Biden Harris policy?
Um, can name one.
So then why the fuck would that throw you off of voting for her?
Well, because I mean, like just general living, I don't feel like was very great under Biden and Harris. I wasn't like I didn't have more money in my pockets. I had more money when I was not under Trump, but I guess when Trump was president. Um, yeah, I feel like the economy was better under Trump, and it's very skewed just because of COVID and everything. It was kind of hard to gauge what was right, what was wrong. Um, but yeah, I guess the general feeling, as in a lot of other American people did say,
Okay,
kind
so
of
are
the
you
same
saying
thing.
that they were a bad presidency because under their term you didn't think the economy was good?
No, I wouldn't say it was bad presidency. I
Okay,
think,
so then what's the blame on the Biden Harris administration? Like when we're going to be evaluating her statement, oh, I wouldn't change anything from the Biden Harris administration. She's saying that
yeah,
she wouldn't change anything from what they did, and I thought that they did good with domestic policy. They passed the PACT
yeah,
Act, they passed the Infrastructure Bill, the Inflation Reduction Act, the American Rescue Plan, the Chips and Science Act. They had a shit ton of really good domestic policy that served to the interests of the American people. I thought that their administration was one of the best administrations in modern American history for their domestic policy. Okay, and when you
yeah.
come up here and you tell me that the biggest reason why you voted for the rapist over Kamala Harris, the biggest reason why you voted for the guy that wants to ethnically cleanse 2.1 million Palestinians off the Gaza Strip compared to Kamala Harris, the biggest reason you want this guy that is going to decrease the purchasing power of anybody making under $395,000 per year and serves as a constitutional crisis now and in 2020 when he tried to rig the outcome of the election. Is that, well, you didn't agree with her statement that she wouldn't have changed much from the Biden Harris administration, and you can't name one bad thing the Biden Harris administration did. I'm likely to probably believe that you've fallen victim to some Republican propaganda.
Well, I think another one I didn't like was the border. I would call it a crisis in a sense. I thought that there was a lot of not good stuff going on. And yeah, I mean, I lived near close to New York. New York City itself was almost a ghost town, other than immigrants, for a couple weeks. They were in the streets fighting over
Okay,
clothing.
name one bad immigration policy the Biden Harris administration passed, or like one bad move they made insofar as rescinding policy passed by Trump.
Well, no, I think the just opening the borders in the sense was
How'd they
bad.
open
I can't
that?
name the policy
How'd they open the borders?
correctly. Well, I mean, just I feel like they lessened security at the borders.
How? What
There was
security did they lessen?
the borders were just less secure. I mean, there was
What did they do to
tons
make them
more
less
people coming
secure?
in.
What? Yeah, what was less secure specifically? What did they do to make it less secure?
Well, I guess they took security off the borders. They took people off the borders.
Can you give me evidence of this? Because they actually funded Border Patrol more than Trump.
Yeah, but Trump has more security at the borders now.
Okay, so you're saying compared to Donald Trump's administration now? No, you're shifting the goalposts. You said that they lessened security in reference to his first administration. So what security did they lessen?
Well, the dollar became a lot less valuable. So I mean,
Oh,
we can
so
talk.
they're responsible for a weakened border policy by causing inflation. So how do they cause inflation?
No. I didn't say that. I'm just saying, like, when you're talking numbers, correct? When you say they put more money into the border, like funded more money into it.
Yeah, but don't pivot off that. I just want you to
I'm
tell
not
me
pivoting.
what they. I want you to tell me what they did to lessen security at the southern border.
I mean, I'd have to research that, but I mean, there was a lot more crossings underneath them. Is that not true?
So your argument is because there's a lot more crossings under their administration, they passed bad immigration policy. Okay, well, here's my counter argument. Because under Donald Trump's administration, in April 2020, we had the highest level of unemployment in the last 100 years. That must have meant that Donald Trump passed unemployment policy. Did you guys just ban the vegan teacher? Oh, bruh. Go ahead.
No, I mean that was during COVID, so I mean that's a little tougher
Oh,
of
so
an
you're telling me
argument
that I can't just blame anything that happens under his administration on him. So why can you blame anything that happens under the Biden-Harris administration on Biden and Harris?
because that was controllable. I mean,
Okay, so tell me if it was controlled by them, tell me what they did to reduce security.
it's maybe not what they did to reduce. It's maybe what they should have done to secure it more.
Oh, would you say that they probably should have passed a bill to strengthen security by funding courts on the border more to expedite legal claims migration to naturally reduce undocumented entry?
Maybe that's the goal, but that's not what it did.
Okay, well actually they tried to, and then
They tried to, but yeah,
then
but it
Donald
was just for more
Trump
judges.
Then Donald Trump called the Republicans in Congress and told them to torpedo this bill because it was gaining speed in Congress.
And where's the source of that he called them?
Yeah, sure.
Okay.
Chuck Schumer spoke about this on CNN. We also had Mitch McConnell and Ted Cruz speak about this on Fox News, as well as Langford, the Republican that was endorsed by Trump that drafted the bill, condemned him on Fox News as well. And then we
Gotcha.
also had Donald Trump self-admit this at a rally in Nevada where he said if the border bill fails, to blame it on him.
Gotcha. So, I mean, I guess do you think that in direct correlation to the bill, it would reduce crossings?
Oh, it would actually absolutely reduce undocumented entry into America. What do you think is the root cause of undocumented migration into our country?
I mean, if the border's left open, then it's just
Answer my question. What is the root cause of undocumented migration into our country?
obviously not being able to get through the legal system fast enough.
Yeah, exactly. Really slow, bad legal system. So the only way to reduce undocumented migration in the long term is to expedite the legal processes of migration, which is something that the bipartisan border bill would have done in some sense or another.
Yeah,
step
I
in the
mean,
right direction. Therefore, Donald Trump torpedoing that under the Biden-Harris administration impacted their ability to effectively reduce undocumented migration in the long term, while he was actively advocating for it, partaking in actions that led to more undocumented migration in the long term.
so wouldn't we be in the same? We would agree on that both.
We would
both
agree that
parties-
Donald Trump actively advocated for more undocumented migration. We would.
No. I'm
No,
asking.
okay. Well, that's exactly what happened when he torpedoed the bipartisan border bill.
Well,
There would
See,
have
but
been less undocumented migration in the long term if it was passed. He said no. I don't want
don't
it to pass
think.
because
See, I
the
don't think
Democrats
that's
will look
true.
good.
I don't think that's true. I mean,
Whoa, wait! You don't think that making the legal systems of migration faster and
how much
less
faster?
expensive
Do you
would
know how many?
reduce undocumented migration at all?
I mean, maybe very small percentage, but like, how many more judges were they going to hire?
Okay. So then you'd agree with me that Donald Trump advocated for undocumented migration to go up in the long term, even if it was just by a very small percentage.
No, not if you offset it by putting
No,
more security at the borders.
no. So he didn't advocate for that when he overturned the bipartisan border bill.
No, sir, because I mean, when
Dude,
when
you're
Biden was in
unreal.
office,
Dude, honestly, at this point, I don't even want to have continued conversation with you if you're gonna be so dishonest.
No, I'm not being dishonest. I'm just saying there's always the other story to it. I mean, when Biden was in office,
Okay,
you
what's the
could
other
pay.
story? What was the justification for torpedoing the bipartisan border
Okay,
bill?
we can agree on that. It could have helped very little. I think it could have helped very little. I think
Okay,
there should be a
can you name one policy that Donald Trump has implemented or wants to implement or has ever implemented to
no,
reduce
no.
undocumented migration in the long
I
term?
cannot. I
Okay,
cannot.
so then you'd agree that the Biden-Harris administration was more effective than Trump at reducing undocumented migration into America in the long term.
In the very long term, maybe. Not for the short term.
Why the fuck does the short term matter? Okay, because the short term fixes, like deploying the National Guard to the border or like illegally striking down asylum cases, that's just putting a band aid on a 4-inch incision. It does nothing to fix the real issues.
Same reason for the tariffs. I mean, it's a short term problem if it possibly produces more jobs. And yeah, I
Wait, you
mean, in
agree
the
with
long
things
term,
that wait, you agree with things that help the American economy?
yeah, I would say
So then
yes.
you disagree with mass deportation because that hurts the American economy, and actually offering all
Mm,
undocumented migrants in America that have not committed violent crimes a pathway to residency or citizenship would help the American economy. In fact, it'd help the American economy more than tariffs. Undocumented migrants right now pay $100 billion per taxes a year. They're productive providers. They work
hmm
millions of jobs across our country to reindustrialize the manufacturing sector. While also, migrants as a whole are projected to add $1.7 trillion to the American GDP in the course of the next 10 years. And if we were to offer them a pathway to residency or citizenship, they'd have more bargaining power, which means they'd be getting paid higher wages at the same jobs they're working now, meaning they'd be paying more in taxes, spending more in our economy to increase GDP growth, even more than they already do. So, in other
Yeah, so
words,
that's in a
mass
perfect world.
amnesty is better for the manufacturing sector of
Mm,
America and the American economy as a whole than tariffs are.
no, in a perfect world, sure, but I mean, they're
No, that's in this
also.
world. I just gave you facts from this world, sir. Don't
y-
try to pull
y-
that bullshit on me.
No, I'm not pulling any bullshit on you. I'm just saying that
Undocumented
that's not.
migrants pay $100 billion in taxes in this
y-
world.
Yes, that is true, but it also doesn't mean that they're going to get paid higher because there's a lot of undocumented migrants that are getting paid very unlivable wages. Like,
Why do undocumented migrants get lower wages compared to U.S. citizens for the same job?
me personally, what I would say is because the Americans don't want to work that job. I don't think it's fair
No,
at all.
I'm saying like the Americans that do work the same job, undocumented migrants get lower wages than them. Why?
What job is that?
Any job. It's a common fact that undocumented migrants have lower wages on average compared to citizens.
Where is that source? I don't agree with that.
What? I'm giving you a Republican argument right now.
No, I don't care
Sure, I
if it's
mean, sure,
Republican,
sure,
Democrat.
sure. I could give you a source. That's fine.
Yeah, please do. Yeah, like I don't care if it's Democrat or Republican. I
Okay, yeah. This is coming from Science Direct. Look up the wage penalty to undocumented migrants. They say that the average wage gap between undocumented and legal immigrants or citizens is over 35%.
and that's coming from who?
Science Direct.
Is
Also
that
from Ecnofact, from Brookings, from scholars at Harvard, from the Committee on Education and the Workforce, from like the House and the Senate and our government. It's coming from the Center for American Progress.
yeah, I don't know why that's the case. I don't like I said, I don't
I
know
do.
why.
I do.
Why is that?
It's because they have less bargaining power compared to citizens because they don't have a legal status in America.
Okay.
Unions exist to give people more bargaining power against their employer to achieve better benefits or higher wages. More
Right, okay.
bargaining power equals higher wages. So if we
Okay.
were to give this a very productive demographic of America already, undocumented migrants, a pathway to residency or citizenship, that's also giving them a pathway to more bargaining power, which means they'll be more productive than they already are today if we give them that pathway, meaning that mass deportation hurts the economy. Meanwhile, mass amnesty helps the economy even more than they already are right now. Boom. Look at that. All of a sudden, you are either an anti-American traitor if you support mass deportation, or you do place the interests of America first as well as everybody in it by supporting mass amnesty.
Yeah, I'm just
Boom.
talking about like I'm saying unlivable wages. I'm saying not paying taxes and they're getting paid by
Um,
typically.
Undocumented migrants pay taxes. I'm okay with
Yes, I know they
conceding.
do. ITIN number. They pay
I'm
taxes.
okay with conceding that they're probably less likely to compared to citizens.
Right.
But,
Yeah. So
but once
that
again, the reason
like
why that is because they're undocumented. Mass amnesty fixes that too.
Yes, but how do you get that? Like, is it just by hiring more judges? You think that would definitely, I guess, like, is that?
Wait, how would mass amnesty be pulled off?
Yeah,
Oh yeah, by like having like buildings in every city saying undocumented migrants come here, we will give you citizenship for free.
huh. I
It'd
mean,
actually be easier to pull off than mass deportation because there's millions of undocumented migrants in America. Are they cooperative and willing to be deported?
right now, I guess,
No,
I guess
would they be cooperative and willing to become a citizen? Yeah, so it's actually more practical and feasible than mass deportation.
you're trying to get a got me moment here, and it's just not working because I don't agree with Trump on it. I don't agree with the Democratic Party. I don't think
Okay,
hiring.
so you do disagree with mass deportation, and you rather agree with offering undocumented migrants a pathway to residency or citizenship?
Absolutely, yes, absolutely. They're
Okay, all right.
like,
Well, congrats, you're a leftist.
no, I don't agree because the left didn't really do much of that, anyways. They hired they.
That's why I said leftist.
Okay, I didn't.
Yeah, congrats. You're further left than the Democrat Party.
Yeah, so is that where you stand as well? Like, what's the fix to that then?
Yeah, I hold a
If
position
neither
that's further left than the
party is
Democrat Party for sure.
okay, so what's the fix to it then? Would you say a complete reform? Like, because in a perfect world, sure, you just hire more judges.
The Democrat Party is closer to what I would perceive as the best possible immigration policy than the Republican Party. The Republican Party right now is advocating for no reform in the legal means of entry into our country to make them safer and faster, as well as they want to deport every undocumented migrant in America. Meanwhile, the left is advocating for some reform to expedite the legal means of entry into America. And Biden did try to do mass amnesty for some migrants, as well as he approved work visas for over 538 undocumented migrants in America, 1,000 undocumented migrants in America, meaning that he's closer to these goals ideologically speaking. When we're voting for a presidential candidate, we want to run a comparative advantage to see which candidate is closer to our ideals. In this
Okay.
sense, Democratic candidates are closer to the ideal that we share of mass amnesty over mass deportation than Republican candidates. However, on a political spectrum, this belief would actually fall farther left than the DNC. So you just went from being a Trump supporter to being farther left than the DNC.
So you don't agree on that topic? I mean, you don't agree that that's a fair thing to disagree with one party? I mean, we disagree with both parties.
Well, I just think it's like
Why'd
funny,
you vote for Kamala?
you told me that you voted for Trump because of immigration, and now you're just trying to
No,
convince me that
I
immigration
did
is.
not say that. I did
So
not
why are
say
we
that.
talking about immigration at all? Oh wait, I remember why we're talking about immigration. You told me that you
Because of the
didn't vote
border
for Kamala
crossings.
Harris because of the immigration policy under the Biden-Harris administration, and now
No,
I've
I
just
said because of
perfectly
the border
described to you.
crossings.
Oh,
Border
okay.
crossings.
And what you then blamed on the immigration policy of Biden and Harris.
I didn't blame it on the immigration policy.
Okay,
I
so then
just
why did you
said
not vote for Harris?
there's other reasons.
Wait. Why was immigration a reason you did not vote for Harris?
Because of the open border. I think there should be a
Wait,
very fair
why do you
way.
blame the open border in the last 4 years of quote unquote open border on Kamala Harris?
Because it was very easy to just pay the schmortel to get you over, and there was no
What?
scarce of you could pay the. I don't want to say the word. I don't want to get you kicked off or anything, but
What
the
does this have to do with Kamala Harris and why you blame it on her?
well, I blame it on the Biden
Why?
administration. Uh, because that. Let me think of why I blame it on them.
Right?
Let me.
Probably should have done that already, but it's okay.
Well, no, we were talking the whole time. I can't
No,
think and talk like you. That's
exactly.
good
I
as
get
you.
it. I get it.
Yeah, I apologize. I'm not
No. I
as high
appreciate you.
tech.
God. Hey, how about
Um,
why you think I'm going to thank a couple donors? Brianna,
yeah.
thank you so much for the $10 over on Venmo. I do really appreciate you for the love, Brianna. Everybody, please show some love to Brianna in the chat. Then also Janine with the $7 on Venmo saying that you're awesome. You're awesome, Janine. Then Max with the $7.77. Thank you so much, Max. Why aren't more Dims lining up to follow Brooker's lead? I actually did see some Dims speaking in Congress saying that they would. I really hope that they do. Ken, thank you for the $20 over on Venmo. Thank you so much for the love, Ken. Everybody, please show some love to Ken down below in that comment section. Thank you. Oscar with the $11.11. Huge shout out to Oscar. Says, I wish I could spot Uncrustables too. Dude, I'd be spotting these in right and left. In fact, I have another bite left. Jesse, thank you for the $10 over on Venmo to buy food without hair on it. He put food in quotation marks. You fucking silly goose. Thanks for the $10, Jesse. Chelsea with the 20, and then MSC with the $16 and the 66 cents. You are phenomenal. I'd also like to thank Amber with the $10, Amber with another 5, so Amber with a 20, then Amber with a 2, then Alexia with a 5 over on YouTube Super Chat. Huge shout out to Amber and Alexia. Then Summer with a 5 over on PayPal. I appreciate everyone so much for the donations. You guys are awesome. Somebody in my YouTube comment section just said it's wild to pay this loser. Get fucked. Go ahead.
Whoa. All right, I got my thought in my head. I think the problem was with the quote unquote open borders. I don't want to call it open borders. I'm gonna just call it open borders for the talking talking point. I think it was because of the incentives of getting here even if you were illegal. There was no incentive of getting here legally if you were going to get money if you came illegally.
Yeah, what federal programs gave undocumented immigrants money?
I mean, there was housing. There was a lot of different things.
No, there wasn't.
I mean, I don't know if we're just running off of different networks, but if you watched
Wait,
like,
what housing was given to undocumented migrants? What?
I mean, there was entire hotels that were just
Oh, like the Roosevelt Hotel in New York?
I couldn't tell you exactly which one, but
You're
I watched.
You're confusing asylum seekers for undocumented immigrants.
Yes, but
The
it was
individuals that got like benefits that you're referencing are legal immigrants.
because of asylum.
Yes, asylum is a legal documented process of migration. They get
No,
benefits, and I think they should.
I agree. I 100% agree. I think I don't think it was all asylum
Yeah,
seekers. I mean,
it was wrong. Sorry,
where's the source of
I'm
that?
so sorry for cutting you off. Wait,
No, you're okay.
where's it? Where's the source on that?
Yeah.
I mean, do I want to just explain to you like logically how this would work, or do I
Yes,
want to
please.
give you a source? Wait,
Please do.
no, boo, because I'm just denying the claim that you're making. You give me a source that it benefited undocumented immigrants.
Whoa. Okay.
Ah
Yeah,
ha ha.
no, that's okay. Give me a few seconds. I can't type
Okay,
as fast as you
no,
either.
that's good. I'll give you a few seconds.
Appreciate it.
Take your time. David, thank you for the $10 super chat over on YouTube. Thank you so much for the love. David, you're awesome. David says, keep up the great work, learning a lot from listening to you. I appreciate you so much for the love, David. You're awesome. I'm being a little hard on this guy, but he's being pretty respectful. I need to calm it down a little bit. Seb with the $5 over on Venmo says, Dean, your lives always line up perfectly with me going to the gym after work. Dude, get a good pump in, Seb. Get a good pump in. Awesome. Thank you for the $5. You're phenomenal. Okay. All right. Phenomenal. At least this guest is level-headed. Says somebody in the YouTube. Yeah, no, he is level-headed. He's level-headed. He's respectful. I know. I need to stop being so defensive to it's like respectful guesses. It's just because I'm human and I get myself so worked up from the not respectful, rage baity, insane guests, and it's just hard to like. I need to have a guard set up for that. You know what I mean?
Yeah, you're being really rude to me, Dean. I'm trying to learn.
Yeah.
Don't say something rude again.
Is that true? Hey, if you're one of the 5.7 thousand people in the TikTok stream, guys, make sure that we're double tapping away on that phone screen. While he's looking for the source, we're going to go ahead and get another guest up here just to have a conversation in the meantime. We got Molly Girl loading in. Ella, thank you for the $5 donation over on the YouTube stream. What's up, Molly? Did you vote for Trump?
No, I'm sorry. I'm so sick and I just got out of bed and I somehow hit request.
No worries, Molly. Don't even worry about that. Don't even worry about that. Honestly, I've done that a lot. There's been a lot of points where I've accidentally joined in queues on other lives, so I'm very sympathetic to that. No worries, no worries. What's going on, Kay? Did you vote for Trump?
This wasn't.
Okay. Oh, wait. Kay is here. Kay, hop back in the queue if you voted for Trump. I kicked you because you didn't like speak for the first 3 seconds. I'm so sorry. We're going to move on to the next guest. We got Jaker loading up in the queue. Oh, this dude has like a huge fucking fish in his profile picture. He's definitely a Trump supporter. Yo, Jaker, I got a question for you, bud.
What's up?
Are you single?
I am not.
Well, when you were single, did you have that picture of you and that big old fish on your Tinder profile?
No, actually, that happened while I was in a relationship.
Oh, okay. All right. Did you vote for Trump?
Actually, I couldn't vote for Trump. I was stationed overseas at the time.
Well, do you support the Trump administration?
Yes.
All right, go ahead and tell me why.
Mostly, I always look at it that kind of affects me. which is the military side of things. Um, I guess the way that I've always looked at it with the Biden administration was, oh God, sorry, I'm in Korea. It's 5:30 in the morning.
Well, man.
God, I was about to bring up a point. I can't remember.
No, dude, all good, man. If you have a point, feel free to bring it up. If you don't, I don't mind moving on to the next guest. It's up to you, though.
Oh yeah, the Afghanistan pullout. That was
Oh,
something I did want to talk about.
Okay, let's talk about it. What are your thoughts?
I thought I thought it was poorly done.
Wait. You're active duty, so you're actually breaking federal law by like endorsing a political candidate or political party as an active duty service troop. I just want to let you know before we get into discussion. I feel like there should be informed consent there.
I'm not endorsing a political candidate. I'm endorsing the current president of the United States. So no, it's not against anything.
Yeah, real quick. If we have any scholars in the chat, just confirm or deny that, but go ahead and continue to speak. I just want to make sure that you're aware of federal law. I'm just trying to do something nice.
Well, so even if it's the current president of the United States?
I'm not. You might be right. You actually might be right. It's in accordance with the Hatch Act. I don't know. Do you want to like put some time into reading it, or do you just want to take the gamble?
Yeah, if you could, I gotta look it up now. I don't know.
Let's see.
I found my source. I found it, Dean. I found it, Dean. Don't you worry, buddy. I got it.
Okay. Well, how about this, Jacob? Just real quick. We're gonna go and let him give his source. In the meantime, just consider, like if you want to gamble the fact that you may be breaking law. If you want to break the law, I'm fine with that. I'm a liberal, party of crime and whatnot. So I'll find
Break the law.
But
break the law.
Yeah, I'm not gonna take a chance.
Law.
I thought the law was if it was like during like the actual candidacy, but
I mean, you could be right. I seriously don't know. But if you don't want to take the chance, I respect that.
Okay. Yeah, I'm not gonna take the chance.
Yeah, you have a good one, Jaker. I get it. Anyways, go ahead.
All right, so I lost my source now. I'm not even kidding.
Motherfucker! How do you lose a fucking Google page?
Hold on.
Okay,
Shit.
we're gonna
Hold
gotta
on.
get somebody else up in the meantime.
No.
We got Liv floating in. Liz, did you vote for Trump?
Yes, I did.
Liz, why? Why did you do it? Why'd you vote for Trump?
I mainly voted for Trump because I'm a first generation American, and I think that we have a huge problem with all these illegal immigrants in our country. It's becoming ridiculous. The amount of illegals that were allowed in by the Biden administration.
Yeah. Do you mind if I ask you a question?
Mm-hmm.
So when you say that undocumented migrants in America are a huge problem that's becoming so ridiculous, you're telling me that they're really hurting our country. Can you name one way that undocumented migrants that have not committed violent crimes hurt our country?
The violent crimes is a huge thing right there, dude. What do you mean?
Okay, well, I'm actually okay with
the
either
raping of women, the beheading of people, all these, that Venezuela gang group that committed so many crimes.
Okay, Liz. So as it applies to undocumented migrants that commit violent crimes, I either agree with prosecuting and incarcerating them in America or deporting them to their home countries to be incarcerated there, whatever criminal justice system is more reliable. So we probably don't have too much disagreement there. I will say the one piece of legislation pushed through Congress under the Trump administration to prosecute undocumented migrants that commit violent crimes through deportation through the Lake and Riley Act was one of the worst pieces of legislation we've had in modern American history. I would have vetoed it in a fucking heartbeat. So I just don't think that the Trump administration is processing undocumented migrants who have or have not committed violent crimes properly. But I'd also like to point out that undocumented migrants are 2 times less likely than you, a natural U.S.-born citizen, to commit a violent crime. And it is the case that you voted for a violent criminal, a rapist, in fact.
They're committing illegal crimes by entering the country illegally in the first place. So no matter what, that's an illegal crime.
Yeah, I do understand that that's a crime. I mean, some people say it's a misdemeanor. I haven't read the law myself, so I'll just believe you. But this doesn't answer the question I asked you. We could get to that in a bit. The question I want you to answer is, can you name one way that undocumented migrants as a demographic hurt our country?
It hurts us financially. We're giving these people tens of thousands of dollars of financial, giving them licenses, giving them cars.
Yeah.
giving them hotel rooms.
What fucking world do you live in?
Our world.
Like, Liz, I'm so sorry, but like, this is just like pure fucking propaganda. I want to get that one so incredibly clear. It is like absolute fucking bullshit. Like, I've heard the hotels before, the fucking cars. What the fuck, dude? Oh, I'm sorry. I need to be kind. I actually am being pretty mean to you, Liz. I apologize. I want to be kinder. Here's my point. Undocumented.
Okay,
migrants
I don't
look
get
at-
offended easily like you guys do.
Okay, and I take it back. I take it back, Liz. I'm no longer gonna be kind to you. I'm just kidding. I'll still be kind. But
It's
listen,
fine. I can take it.
my point is that undocumented migrants as a demographic actually don't really receive any federal benefits. The only benefits that they receive is like the availability to go to an emergency room in a hospital in the case of an emergency for like life-saving care. That costs our government over $16 billion per year, and that's not just for undocumented migrants, it's for all uninsured people in America. And then like some forms of healthcare like Medi-Cal in the state of California. But overall, they pay $100 billion for taxes a year in the federal, state, and local level, and they don't reap the benefits like you or I do, like Social Security, Medicaid, Medicare, food stamps, EBT, etc.
How about
Meaning
the
that they pay more in than they
15
take
million
out
people that
compared
were
to
collecting
citizens.
Social Security that were over the age of 115?
Completely different subject. How about we continue
completely
to talk
wrong.
about undocumented immigrants first?
I do have a question after he responded to Dean's point.
No, for sure. Would you,
Go ahead.
No, because I want you to respond to what I said. I'll condense it. Undocumented migrants pay more in taxes and reap less of a benefit off of that than you, me, or any other American citizen.
I don't care. I just don't like these illegal immigrants in our country.
Okay, and that's why I say that you're most likely like racist, Liz. It's because when I ask you to give me a cogent argument insofar as why undocumented migrants hurt our country, you're like, oh, the economy, they drain our resources. But then when I prove you wrong, like, I don't give a shit. I just don't want them here. Like, literal, like, I mean, like, unless you could like give me a defense that doesn't reduce down to vibes and prejudice, so like, I'm just gonna call you a racist. But I do want to give you the mic to like refute that. Okay, because I don't want to be that liberal who's just calling non-racist people racist, right? So feel free to prove me wrong by giving me one reason why you're not racist, which would instantiate good reason insofar as how undocumented migrants hurt our country.
I'm just laughing at all these comments right now.
And I'm gonna hop in real quick. I gotta go, Dean. I appreciate you. I did have the source, but I know you got stuff to do. All I read was on the no. I was just hanging out. I wasn't saying nothing. I wasn't being.
No, I was just gonna say,
LTT.
LTT. Feel free to re-request sometime. I enjoyed my talk with you. I feel like we should finish it.
Yeah, no doubt. I did read on the UCISC or something, United States something immigration something center. I don't know. I lost the source again, but I did have it, and I just closed my laptop. Basically, I don't know if it was a policy, but he lessened the, I guess, he lessened the things that you needed to do to seek asylum, and then in 2024 he then revamped it so it was impossible for people to.
How about this? LTTL, you were lagging out pretty hard. Whenever you get some free time, I'm live for 4 hours every day. I'll remember your name, re-request, and we could have a fleshed out conversation about it.
I got you, buddy. I'll bring all the sources.
Hell yeah.
And
bro, I
Liz,
like
good
that.
luck. You are in a hole right now, Liz. You need to dig yourself out of it. I don't know if you're
I'm
gonna.
not
This
in a
guy's
hole.
good. Peace out.
My life's great.
I don't think it
That's
is
probably-
anymore.
This guy's like probably like my favorite Trump supporter I've spoken to in quite some time. I like that LLT guy. Go ahead, Liz.
Oh,
She
no
left!
way, she left. I was gonna ask her the question: should people who hire undocumented immigrants be held accountable because they're committing a crime?
Dude, I cannot believe that she left. That is so fucking funny. Dude, you're trolling.